Go ahead and start.
Okay, so welcome to our talk today with Jessica Lanier. She's an RN from California, and we're really excited to have her. She's a 5-star diamond coach, and we had the opportunity to see her present at Summit about Shakeology, and I was certainly enthralled and wanted to learn more information. So I reached out to Jessica, and she happily decided that she would be willing to talk to our teams today and tell us a little bit more about all the research that she's done on Shakeology, how it's been able to help other people, and how we as coaches can better talk to people about understanding the ingredients and all of the health benefits that are offered through it. Just to give you guys a little bit information on Jessica, Jessica is a wife and a mom to 2 little boys that are 3 and 1, so she's a busy lady. She has her bachelor's degree in nursing as a registered nurse and also a certified holistic health coach. She knew that she always wanted to be in a business to help other people. How many of us have felt that way, right? She wants them to help to live healthier, happier lives. And unfortunately, she had to go through a very difficult time. When she was 11 years old, her father was they were both in a serious motorcycle accident. Unfortunately, her father passed away, which I'm sure has been such a difficult thing in her life, but has also, she shared with me that through everything she's been through, it's brought her to this place where she feels like she can help people with their health. And it was a long road to recovery. So for her, through various health complications in high school and college, Jessica found holistic medicine, nutrition, integrative health to be incredibly powerful as she learned how to heal herself from digestive and hormonal disorders. In March 2016, she decided to incorporate Beachbody into her life and her business after having her first baby and suffering from lower back pain due to degenerate disc. She also mentioned, besides the accident, she was almost a pro softball player. She played in college and was super aggressive. She reminded, when she was talking about it, she reminded me of my son, who likes to dive for everything and anything on the floor. And so she realized she had some health issues there. For the first 2 years of growing her coaching business, Jessica worked 40 to 60 hours a week as an RN, feeling as if she was almost in a prison at the hospital. For those of you guys that work at the hospital, most of the time, hopefully it's a positive thing, but the nursing is a very difficult job with 12-hour shifts and everything else that you have to do. When she started, she hit Success Club every month for the first 3 years and 3 months of her business. With only 2 of those being under Success Club 10, she's earned over $100,000 as a 5-star diamond, has mentored 7 coaches to become diamonds in her organization, and named a 2019 Premier Coach. That takes a lot of hard work, determination, and really, obviously, she believes in the product. She got to fully retire as a RN in June of 2018 to become a full-time coach and be home with her babies. So her background in medicine and holistic health gives a unique perspective and has been on the products and programs we have to offer. I think, having been in the hospital now for 21 years, when you hear from a nurse that truly believes in it with the research that she's done and the medical background, to me that says a lot. You don't want to miss her personal perspective she's going to share today, and her strategy with Shakeology, and how she increases her impact and income with her unique approach to prescribing it to her clients, and recognizing that it isn't necessarily, can't cure everything or anything, but there's so many health ingredients in it that have the ability to really work on the body in such amazing ways. So without any further ado, before we turn it over to Jessica, I want everybody to give a big round of applause for her for being here today. And thank you guys for taking time out of your day to be here to better learn more about how we can better serve our clients and have people recognize the amazing attributes of Shakeology. So thank you, Jessica, and I'll turn it over to you.
Yay! Wow, what an introduction. Thank you. I actually worked in a prison. So yeah, I worked legit in a prison for the last 4.5 years before I retired from nursing. But yeah, so it was very unique because there's no like you can't have your phone on you. There's no internet access. There's no. It was stressful. It was a unique experience. But yeah, so thanks you guys for having me. Very excited to be here. I'm gonna jump right in and I'm gonna share my screen because I have a PowerPoint kind of presentation that I'm going to lead you through that's going to be more helpful. Feel free to take screenshots like with your computer or your phone or whatever. And I'm just going to warn you that I kind of go deep in with Shakeology, which I know a lot of you are looking for, but I love questions along the way. So feel free. I'll keep an eye open in the chat box. And then at the end, hopefully we'll have some time for questions as well. But I'm going to go through it quickly because there's a lot to cover and I want to make sure that you guys get it. So let me share my screen with you really quick. Okay, can you guys see? Okay, cool. So I think I can put this in presentation mode really quick. All right. Okay. So, this is I created this over the years because how many people get price objections with Shakeology? Or people saying like, oh, I already have a protein powder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you have no idea what this even is. And to be honest with you guys, I've been talking for the last probably 8 months with Beachbody Corporate, with compliance, with our R&D team, and with legal, because I have created several resources that I can't share publicly yet because they're not corporate approved, and I want to go about it the right way. But I actually wrote a 34-page research paper on Shakeology, and what I did is I took every ingredient and I looked it up and I linked medical research, like clinical trials, with and medical journals with each ingredient, and it ended up being 34 pages long. It took me a very long time, but I want to start with saying that the problem that Beachbody has as a $1.3 billion company is so many people take things out of context. So you're going to hear me say like this ingredient is linked with incredible cancer prevention. We can never go out there and say like Shakeology prevents cancer, right? That would be irresponsible of us. But I want you to understand like at its core, these ingredients that are in here are incredibly powerful. So without further ado, we will get started. Obviously, the disclaimer, you guys know, I'm not claiming to cure, treat, prevent any medical diagnosis, right? Okay, as long as we're on the same. So Shakeology, what is it? I'm sure you guys get these questions all the time. What are these superfoods? Why is it really that good for you? How does it help people? That's what you're going to learn in this presentation. So if this is anything, if you get anything from this, I want you to get this. There are 5 formulas in Shakeology. It is our job to know what those 5 formulas are and to be able to, at the basics, be able to educate people that Shakeology is not just a protein powder. Shakeology is 1/5 I'm sorry, protein is 1/5 of what Shakeology actually is. I refer to it as a wellness formula. And it's easy to get confused because it comes in a bag like so many protein powders does, and there's a scoop and it is a powder. But if you're really wanting to help people understand better what it is, explain it this way. There's 5 formulas within every dose, every serving of Shakeology. And my desire for you guys at the end of this is to be able to, I truly believe that as coaches, we are problem solvers. So how do you provide a solution with your clients or your prospects or your coaches without identifying the problem? So I hope that you guys have some sort of process that you go through where when someone is interested in working with you, that you don't just throw links at them, that you're actually asking them what they need. So asking them questions, whether that's like a Google form or you have like a couple questions you ask them about their goals or their problems. Identify what their needs are, because as soon as you do that, you can use these 5 formulas to plug them into. I understand that you're a busy, stressed out working mom who doesn't have time. Let me tell you how Shakeology could really have an impact in your life because of the adaptogens, because of the digestive support. So as you understand these 5 formulas, it's going to really help you as a coach be able to, this is how I use the word prescribe Shakeology, because what does a medical professional prescribe something for a problem? That's the idea behind how I think we as coaches could get better at prescribing or linking this solution to what our people's problem is. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, cool. So number 1, clean protein blend. I'm going to break these down further, but I just want you to know what's in Shakeology. The second one is a super greens phytonutrient blend. The third one is a superfruit antioxidant blend. The fourth one is an adaptogen blend. Fifth one is a digestive support formula. So if you look at the back of your bag of Shakeology, it's broken down for you. I just did it differently. Okay, so diving into, first, the research. So did you guys know that there's been 3 different clinical trials done on Shakeology? It's not, in my opinion, it's not widely marketed, but you can find it if you Google the science of Beachbody. It'll come up with, I think it's on the Beachbody On Demand blog. There's actually a page that's the science of Beachbody, and it has the clinical trial done with Energize, and I think there's one on Recover. There's a really powerful one done on the Ultimate Reset and Shakeology. Well, the first trial they ever did is one of my favorites because they did a 90-day trial. I think there was 50 participants, and they gave them Shakeology for breakfast and lunch, and nothing else changed. And these were the results. So their hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood marker on a blood test to measure your blood sugar, decreased by an average of 5%, while some numbers decreased up to 19%. These are insane numbers. Okay, cholesterol, the average total cholesterol was reduced by 7%, with a maximum reduction of 50% reduction in cholesterol in 90 days. That's amazing. And then obviously it has been proven to support healthy weight loss with an average of 9.3 pound weight loss, with the highest being 24 pounds. Imagine this. You're literally just drinking 2 shakes a day and you're not doing anything different. So some of these people were still eating junk food for dinner. Some of these people they did not change their exercise habits. Nothing else changed other than adding in 2 shakes a day. And that to me is so powerful. And that's the conviction with which I personally share Shakeology with the people that I'm talking to, because I know that it's really easy to back down when someone's like, I'm not paying that much for a shake. And it's easy to be like, I totally get it. So let's just try Beachbody On Demand. In my personal opinion, from the research I've done, I am doing my people a disservice if I do not really heavily emphasize how much this could change their life, and the fact that this is the best way for them to get results. How many people are so discouraged because they try a new diet or they try a new supplement or try a new whatever, and they're not getting the results that they're looking for? Even if you only spend $10 on something, if it doesn't work, it's a waste of money. And so the way that I like to share with people, like, I don't want you to waste any more money. It's time for you to get the complete solution, which is our challenge packs, right? Fitness, nutrition, supplementation with Shakeology, and coaching. Everybody needs that. So that's just my kind of perspective and my mindset on it. Okay, so clean protein blend. Here, I'm going to kind of like breeze through this, but I want you guys, there are a couple things that I specifically looked for when I was doing research on Shakeology, and the whey protein was one of them. I needed to know where it came from. I wanted to know if it had any antibiotics or hormones in it, because that's a big thing when you're looking into any kind of animal products, and how it was processed. So you guys know these are the ingredients in the protein blend of Shakeology. The ones in red mean that they're different between the vegan and the regular. So the regular form of Shakeology has whey. The vegan form obviously doesn't, but it also contains rice and oat. One of the things that I love that I use to differentiate between people saying, well, I already drink like a pea protein, or I have a hemp protein, or I drink a rice protein. That's great. But what most people don't understand is that every protein type has a different amino acid profile. So amino acids are the building blocks of protein. When you eat any kind of protein, your body has to break down that protein into amino acids in order to be able to absorb and utilize the power of that protein component. So the fact that our protein blend contains various different protein sources means that it has various different amino acid profiles, which is essential to have a vibrantly healthy body. You can't just have pea protein and expect to get all of your protein needs from that one protein source. Does that make sense? So I love that our protein component isn't just whey protein. It's not just pea protein. It is a wide variety of different sources so that our body can absorb different amino acid profiles, which is important. And then on the whey protein, the things that I looked for that I want you to know about is that it is a whey protein isolate, which is actually the highest purity grade of whey protein that's commercially available. Whey protein isolate versus concentrate. The isolate actually has higher level of protein with less fat and glucose and lactose in it. So you're getting more protein without your body having to work so hard to absorb it. So it's more easily absorbable. It is undenatured. Now, I will tell you right now that there are blog posts out there on the internet when people do research about Shakeology that's very inaccurate. I think there's one that was, it was when I first came in, I found it all over. It's from 2014. It's called like Ancient Nutrition or something like that. There's a blog post that talks about Shakeology's protein being denatured and all this stuff. It's not. It is undenatured, and that just means it's processed at a low temperature. And that's important because it retains more of that whey protein, the molecular integrity and the enzymes and the nutrients so your body can recognize and absorb it. So just remember undenatured. That's one of the words that you'll want to remember. And then every batch of whey is tested to make sure it doesn't have any hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, or other toxins. So that's awesome. Any questions about that? I need to make sure I can see the chat box. Okay, so moving on to the second formula, which is superfruits and antioxidants. So for those of you who don't know, that antioxidants, we see it everywhere in marketing, but there's substances found in our foods that prevent and repair damage done to our bodies by oxidation or free radicals. And I know that this is like kind of like deeper science nerdy stuff. So some of you, it's gonna be like over your head. Just know that it's really good for you. So it helps to like prevent inflammation. Antioxidants have been proven to be really important in roles such as reducing inflammation in our bodies, cardiovascular health with keeping our arteries flexible, and protecting our DNA. So these are the ingredients in our antioxidant formula. And then the regular form of Shakeology is also fortified with additional A, C, and E vitamins. The vegan formula is not fortified with any additional vitamins. You guys know. If you were to, throughout this entire thing, if you were to just pick a few ingredients a day to look into, your mind and your confidence in Shakeology would be blown away. So things like, if you were to go to, how many of you have gone to a health food store and look for a vitamin C, whole food vitamin C supplement when you're sick, or you're like, it's cold and flu season, you want to boost yours and your family's immune system, you look for a vitamin C supplement. If you look for a whole food vitamin C, you will see camu camu and acerola cherry and rose hips. I can pretty much guarantee it because they are widely known as some of the highest food sources of vitamin C known on the planet. So I love that our company has the knowledge and the background to put that kind of stuff into our daily shakes that we're getting every single day. That's amazing. Rose hips is actually has been known to increase the absorbability of high levels of vitamin C. So there's just a lot of intention in the product formulations to maximize our health, and I just love that. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what our Superfruit antioxidant blend is. Any questions about that? Let me open the chat box really quick. And yes, absolutely. Vitamin C is one of the most powerful vitamins for healing adrenal fatigue, which I cannot wait, Heather, to get to our adaptogens. It's like I could talk probably for an hour about that. Adrenal fatigue is actually one of my specialties in my personal practice and something that I struggled with for a long time, and I think it's an epidemic in our country. So I absolutely love that. Okay, so next, super greens. Super greens are really important for detoxification, oxygenation in our body, and alkalinization. So for those of you who are not aware with the pH scale in our body, there's acid to alkaline, and our bodies for optimal health are supposed to be slightly alkaline. And this is like one of my favorite things to share with people, because I remember when I learned about it, I was like, why is this not all over the newspapers in every single doctor's office? In the 1920s, there was a doctor who won the Nobel Prize. It's Dr. Otto, I always butcher his name, Otto Warburg. He won the Nobel Prize for proving that cancer cells cannot survive in an oxygen-rich or alkaline environment, but they thrive in an acidic, oxygen-deprived environment. They actually took healthy cells and put them in an acidic environment, and they started to morph into cancer cells. And they put them back into an alkaline environment, and they started to transform back into a healthy cell. And that alone was like, again, why is this not talked about more? That's so powerful, and it's been around, the 1920s. That's crazy. That's 100 years ago. And look at our lifestyles right now. Our high stress, low nutrient density, toxic environment is pushing us more towards that acidic type of internal environment. So super greens are really important and powerful to help alkalinize in our bodies and support this area. If you were to look up moringa alone, your mind would be blown. Like, the nutrition that's found in moringa is mind-blowing. Chlorella has for years been one of my favorite super greens for its ability to detoxify our bodies from heavy metals, and it kind of acts like a magnet to toxins. And so when you're detoxifying, the goal is not only for your body to release toxins, but to get them out of your body. Because what happens if they don't eradicate your body, they're going to recirculate through your system, and that's not the goal. So chlorella helps to bind those toxins, and then the fiber in Shakeology also helps to get it out of the body. Matcha is, when I was researching all of these, I learned a lot, to be honest. I knew a lot, but I learned so much when I was doing this research project. So matcha has we all know that green tea is like good for us, right? It's got some antioxidants and anti-aging. Well, matcha green tea has 137 times the amount of catechins, which is a form of antioxidant, than green tea. 137 times the amount of regular green tea. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then at Summit, if you guys were there, they announced that they're adding more matcha is one of the adjustments that's being made to Shakeology. I don't know when, but so that's really exciting. These little tiny things, I hope your confidence is like increasing with every single slide. Like, holy crap, I didn't know that. That's incredible. I got to go tell everybody, That's how I feel, and why I get so excited about this. Okay, so the fourth blend is my favorite because there's so much in adaptogens, and we're all stressed out all the time. Like, unless I'm sure there's some people that aren't, but if you're a coach, I know that you are, because we're trying to balance everything, right? We're trying to always help as many people as possible. We're trying to learn how to be a leader. We're trying to build our own confidence. We're trying to balance that with family and other jobs and sleep. Like, that's important. Annoyingly, sleep is essential. Like, how to balance it all. So adaptogens are really powerful for a stressful environment. I used to personally buy these separately before I found out about Shakeology, and I took them every day. And I I spent $300 to $400 a month on supplements because I at a time lost my health. I had severe adrenal fatigue. I had severe gut issues. I had severe hormonal imbalances, and I went to all these specialists, and I had brain scans done because I thought I had a brain tumor. This was at 20 years old. I had all these hormonal like tests done, and well, we don't know what's wrong with you. And now looking back and knowing how the physiology of the body works, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Like, my body was so depleted. And I know that a lot of people are at that place because I feel like we're all being pulled in so many different directions and we're trying to do all the things. And that's exhausting. We have to support our endocrine system. We have to support our adrenals. We have to support our bodies to function properly so that we can be all that we want to be for all the different areas of our life. So adaptogens are really powerful at that. If you were to pick one formula to look into each of the ingredients, this one is the one I would guide you towards. Your mind will be blown. This is where I will insert the disclaimer, but if you look at the cancer research with cordyceps and chaga mushroom and reishi, it's so powerful. So the ones that are in yellow are a specific category of adaptogens, and they're medicinal mushrooms, and these are not hallucinogenic. So this is not why people are feeling so good. They're like, man, Shakeology is amazing. You know, they're not seeing rainbow, but they're medicinal mushrooms, and they're very powerful, again, within cancer research and also in helping our bodies adapt to our environment and become more resilient to stress. So again, when you are talking with a prospect or with a customer and they're like, I'm just really stressed right now, or I have low energy, or I'm working night shift or whatever, you can now speak to, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get Shakeology into you. There's a specific adaptogen blend in Shakeology that is really powerful at supporting our bodies become more resilient to stress. I don't know about you, but I would pay for that. You know what I mean? And so we have to learn how to connect how Shakeology is going to benefit somebody's life and why they need it in order to get people to believe it. Because I don't blame people for being skeptical if they just hear Shakeology's name and see a bag of it. They have no idea. That's our job, in my opinion, to educate the public. That's why I do so many YouTube videos on coaching and on Shakeology and on our challenge groups and on what we're doing and how it's different. People just don't know, so we can't get mad at them if we're not doing our part in educating them. So again, adaptogens are my absolute favorite. Okay, and then yes, mushroom ingredients are super powerful for immune support. It's all connected, like gut health, immune support, stress support, like it's all very connected. Okay, and then the fifth one is our digestive support. So if you guys think of this, even if you have no background in medical anything, where do we absorb all of our nutrition from our food? Hopefully you know, in our gut. So our small intestine is actually, which is stretches out to be about 22 feet long, is lined with these little hair-like or finger-like structures called microvilli that have tiny holes in them that absorb all of our nutrients. Well, when you have gut issues, your ability to absorb nutrition is impaired. So Hippocrates had said way back in the day that all disease begins in the gut. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Because if you're not absorbing your nutrition from the food that you're eating, every single organ and system in your body is going to suffer because you're not getting the nutrition is not being transported to those areas where it's needed. So it's important that everyone, even if people don't feel that they have gut issues, that they're supporting this area. Because again, everything's connected and we live in a very toxic, stressful world. And so it's just a matter of time until they have gut issues, or maybe they do have them and they just don't feel them. Another thing that's very intimately connected is the immune system and the gut. Over 70% of your immune system is intertwined in your digestive system. And so that's why probiotics, for example, are really powerful for your immune health, even though it's healing your gut health. And when I had learned the most accurate or most recent statistic I could find is 70 million people in America suffer every day from some form of digestive issues. And what's sad, you guys, is that people are starting to think that it's normal. People are starting to think that acid reflux and having heartburn and constantly being bloated or being constipated is a normal thing because so many people suffer with it. And they have over years, and so they just come to expect it to be normal, and then they go to the doctor, and a lot of doctors will just put them on medication that makes the problem worse. So I love, there's literally like over 90% of people who start Shakeology notice an improvement in this area of their digestive health, which is awesome. So I have these color-coded for a reason. So yacon root and chicory root are prebiotics, meaning they feed and strengthen probiotics. We have at this point one probiotic in Shakeology. Another announcement that was made at Summit is that they're adding more probiotics, which is awesome. So Bacillus coagulans is the one probiotic that we have in Shakeology, and there's like a cajillion different strains of probiotics. This one's specific. So I'm sure you guys have gone to the store and seen all these probiotics. You're like, I don't even know what to take, right? There's specific strains of bacteria that have been linked to different benefits, but this one has been proven to have a hard protein shell covering that will help it survive the stomach acid. So if you don't know the anatomy of your digestive system, you eat food and it goes into your stomach, which is actually in your upper chest almost region, like kind of below your sternum. And the acid that's in your stomach is incredibly strong. That's why when you have acid reflux, it burns your throat. And that's important. That's where you're, it's one of the beginning areas of your food being broken down so that it can be absorbed. Well, a lot of probiotics will be burnt up in that stomach acid, but Bacillus coagulans has a hard protein covering so that it survives the stomach acid and can get to the small intestine where it's needed. So just know that when you're talking to people, you can say, yeah, it's got a really powerful probiotic in it. You can that could be like the phrase that you use. And then the third category, these are all digestive enzymes. So everything that ends with ACE is a different digestive enzyme that is specific to different types of food. So like amylase is specific to carbohydrates. Lactase is specific to lactose. And I remember when I was really heavy in my gut health research years ago, I learned that we have a finite amount of digestive enzymes in our body, and enzymes are everything to our health. So the fact that, Beachbody could have easily just stopped at a probiotic or a probiotic and prebiotics. But the fact that we have a third component of digestive enzymes is really powerful because everybody needs them. Everybody nowadays needs them unless you are on a strict raw food diet where you have naturally occurring enzymes that are in the raw foods that you're eating, but the majority of people are not. So I love our digestive, honestly, comprehensive support formula that we have in Shakeology. Okay, you guys, any questions? We've gone through the 5 formulas, and I'm about to take it into another, like some hot topic info and then a price breakdown that I think you're going to love. But I want to make sure I haven't lost anyone yet. Okay. Okay, cool. So these are the most common questions that I get or that I've heard. And so I just wanted to kind of give you my perspective on it just in case it's helpful. So have you guys seen the promo video that they've made recently about Shakeology, and they talk about it being tested 1,900 times, which is incredible. These are the things that we lead with. These are the things that we share with people. That's incredible. And that is so unique. And you can tell people, call your company of the wellness formula that you're taking, the supplements that you're taking, how many times did they test their product for potency and purity from sourcing to your doorstep? And I guarantee you, people are gonna be like, first of all, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. The company doesn't know. So this is a really powerful way to show how different we are. People who want to know if it's gluten-free, it is, but it's not made in a facility that's certified gluten-free, but I have known several people throughout the company who have celiac disease and don't have a problem. Vegan Shakeology, I've said before, is not fortified with additional vitamins. This is for the purists who maybe are, we drink vegan Shakeology in our household, but for anyone who's like on a specific program with like a specialist and they don't want it to interfere, vegan Shakeology would be better. That leads me into the next point with pregnancy and breastfeeding. Obviously, always check with your healthcare professional. I will tell you right now, most healthcare professionals don't know anything about Shakeology, and so sometimes that can add confusion, but we have to say it. In my opinion, the vegan formula is best for pregnancy because, again, it's not fortified with additional vitamins. So a mom can take their prenatal if they want to, and Shakeology, it's not going to interfere. There's no, how do I explain this? It's like eating too many carrots. Like, it's impossible when you're pregnant. When you get into vitamin supplementation during pregnancy, then that's like, you need to be careful not having too much synthetic vitamin A that's linked to other issues. I have a blog post that I wrote when I was pregnant about the safety of Shakeology during pregnancy in my personal opinion, and I looked at all of the reasons on the internet that said not to take Shakeology while you're pregnant. I did my research and I put my own opinion in it. So if you guys would like that, I can always send that after. If you have any digestive sensitivities, again, or your clients do, I always recommend the vegan formula. It's the easiest to digest. Yes, it has organic cane sugar, which a lot of people in the health world have a problem with. But if you look into the problems that sugar causes in our body, it's the glycemic index. It's how much it's spiking your insulin. And this is certified low glycemic index, which is awesome. The sugar that it contains is equivalent to approximately like a quarter to a third of an apple. So that helps usually, and that's how I explain it to people. Shakeology is not certified organic, and I've gotten this question a lot. But if you look at the standards of why we buy organic things, it's usually to make sure it doesn't have hormones, pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, all that stuff. Shakeology is tested for all of that to show that it doesn't have it. They don't have the certification because if you look at the ingredient list, it's incredibly exotic. And so to get a certification, it would be very difficult and extremely expensive. We already get price objections on Shakeology. And so for me personally, I would rather have the standards to know that it doesn't have all this crap in it. And I don't care as much about the actual certification. I just want to know that it's as pure as something that is organic. And then I've heard Isabel and Darren talk about this a lot, but the sourcing facilities where they get these individual exotic superfoods have to constantly pass rigorous standards or they lose their contract. And I remember Isabel saying like they send back more than they accept. And I love that about our company. That to me shows a lot. The more and more I learn, the more and more I see that truly our company is first and foremost passionate about people being healthy. The money part is absolutely important, and we want our company to thrive and we want us to thrive. But the fact that we're thriving because this is first and foremost, is the quality is the most important. And I absolutely love that. Okay, so for those of you, and I know none of you think Shakeology is an overpriced protein powder, but a lot of people do. So here's another level that I usually go to help explain the incredible, honestly insane value that we have to offer people. So Shakeology retails for $129, right? You just learned that there's 5 supplemental formulas that most people will buy separately. If you take 129 and you divide it by 5, because there's 5 different formulas, you are getting 5 different month-long supply of these powerful formulas for only $25.80 each. And if you were to tell people that, that doesn't sound expensive. I personally have bought a digestive formula or a vitamin C powder that doesn't even last me a full month and is more expensive than $25. So if you can like wrap your mind around that, when I started, I'm very, like, I love psychology and getting behind, this is why I was fascinated with working in a prison, like getting behind why people do things. Why do people think that Shakeology is expensive? They don't see it this way. I guarantee you. If we can collectively spread the word about what it really is, I think it will really help everybody. All right, let's take it a step further. Coach price, $97. If you take $97 and divide it by 5 for those 5 different formulas, it's $19.40 per formula for a month-long supply at all of those high standards, to make sure that there's no fillers, there's no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, there's no heavy metals, there's no hormones or pesticides or herbicides. Like, go to Walmart and try to find a protein alone that is a full month supply for under $20, and you're going to have a really hard time. When you can have this kind of like conviction and confidence about, honestly, you guys, the power of the value we're offering people is insane. It's honestly unheard of. Like, you cannot find it anywhere else. That is why I don't easily back down when people are like, Shakeology is expensive. I take that as an opportunity, that and understanding that they just don't understand it. And so I always make people feel heard. Like, I totally get it. I honestly thought it was in the beginning too. Then I learned what it was, and my mind is blown. Right? Okay. So a couple other things that I always want to make sure that everyone's leading with: bottom bag guarantee. Again, unheard of. I remember I went and I got a Halo Top ice cream, and it was disgusting. I took a bite out of it, and they're like, I don't remember, like $6 or something. And I literally thought, like, I wonder if I could just take this back. I don't like it. Obviously, that would not be allowed, but we offer that to people. You would try the whole freaking bag of Shakeology, and if you're not impressed, then you get to get a full refund. That's amazing. And then when people still understand Shakeology and have the price objection, because genuinely some people are in that financial situation, perfect coaching opportunity. You never could go into GNC and say, hey, I want $300 worth of supplements, and can I work for 2 weeks instead of giving you cash? Like, they'd be like, you crazy. No, that's not possible. But with our business, it is. If you have someone who genuinely is like, I need this in my life, like, you have no idea what's going on, I have no money. Look at Danielle Natoni. Her testimony and story is so powerful to me, that she had to go into debt to become a coach, and now she's like making how many millions of dollars. Sometimes it just takes someone like you putting belief into people that's like, I hear you, I know you're in a bad situation, so let's get you out of it. Let's start changing your life. Let's get this into you, and let's find a way to get this paid back in a week, because you could totally do it if someone has that ambition. And then just some last minute things. Like I said before, challenge pack value. It's crazy that someone can get a full year of workouts, Shakeology, nutrition plan, your free freaking coaching, challenge groups, have a resource for anything, any question they have, for $160. Like, that's crazy. And start a business. That's insane. I love our veteran, military, and reservist and spouse promotion that our company supports military families. That's amazing. Remember to use yourself as a marketing asset so that people know that the fact that they get free coaching from you, that's huge. I own my own business in holistic health coaching, and I charge $100 for a 75-minute consultation. That was pretty standard. And then people would have to go buy the gym membership and buy the healthy food, and they'd have to go buy the supplements. That was just for my time. And our time's included. So don't forget to value yourself when you're showing people what you have to offer them, because that's really important. And that is it. Any questions? This is my Instagram if you guys want to follow me on there, and my Facebook page. That's my email if you have any other questions. But I think we have a few more minutes if you guys have any questions for me.
I have a question, Jessica.
Perfect.
So I have a couple customers that are starting menopause, or maybe in menopause, and they're having weight gain, bloating, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. What of the 5 formulas would you position that would help them the most?
So the adaptogens and the digestive support for sure. But when it comes to specific, here's how I would approach specifics about someone's medical condition is we have to, honestly, to be vibrantly healthy, we have to address these 5 areas. And,
Mhm.
and instead of focusing on the what's the word? Not disease, but instead of, like, menopause is a disease.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the hardship or the specific label, I would encourage you guys to kind of go back to foundational health. Like, instead of, you can always link, like, with what the experience, the symptoms of menopause. Obviously the digestive support and the adaptogens will be really helpful to support this transition of life. But I'm learning that all of us, no matter what phase of life we're in, we have to address these 5 foundational areas. Is there anything you're taking right now? This is where I always go back to questions. The best coaches ask the best questions. This is where I go back to, are you taking anything right now to support these 5 foundational areas of your health? And then they start thinking, oh, I'm actually not. Or I'm taking this, 1 a day multivitamin. What are your thoughts about that? And even when you guys don't know anything about, like, ingredients, if you look up the label of a 1 a day vitamin and you look at the other ingredients, there's like a paragraph of crap and fillers in there. So you can say, like, well, I personally am a big believer in quality, and I can tell by looking at the label that you're probably not getting the best quality and you're getting a lot of fillers in what you're taking. This could
Mhm.
take the place of your multivitamin. That's how I would usually my conversations go.
Mhm.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, thanks. Great.
Any other questions about anything? You guys have a headache? Okay, good.
I know we talked yesterday about just any examples you can give of people that have, like, improved on some of their maybe chronic conditions or anything like that you can share, because we've seen people, some of them are actually on the line too, that have really seen a difference in their digestive system being better, or their lack of constipation, or I have an MS client coach who has MS and has lost 50 pounds and gotten off most of his meds. Maybe you can share some of the success stories that you have seen since you've started coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is probably, I'll be honest with you guys, probably one of my most frustrating areas, because it's the biggest area I've gotten pushback from corporate on, and I understand their perspective, right? They're trying to protect our company. But, like, you can't say, like, you can't turn away the fact that people's lives are radically changing. I have had, obviously, with, like, huge with cholesterol and blood pressure, I love labs, like lab values. For me, if I have someone who will do lab values and then drink Shakeology for a while and do them again, it's my absolute favorite, because it's like we're running our own clinical trial within our team. So I've had several people get off cholesterol medication and triglyceride medication, blood pressure medication, because all normalize. People going from being diabetic with their hemoglobin A1C and on medication to being able to have their lab values go back to regular blood sugar levels and be off medication. I have several people on my team who have struggled with different autoimmune issues and severe anxiety and depression and off all medication. I've had people get off thyroid medication. I've had actually men. So my husband he actually runs a men's group now, just recently since Summit, and he's in law enforcement. And so he has a lot of his law enforcement buddies who are a little bit older, and one of them, they're actually 2 of them, incredible testimonies of they were getting testosterone shots, like, from their doctor, because their testosterone levels were so off testosterone medication, like off all these like off thyroid medication, off blood pressure medication. Like, guys, I feel like always their results are so much faster. And there's another one who lost, I can't even remember, like 30 pounds really quick. And his cholesterol and triglycerides changed drastically. So another one, chronic migraines. I have another one of my coach's moms who for years has broke out in stress hives, and the doctor could not figure out what was going on. They put her on steroids, all these things. And it was 2 months of drinking Shakeology, gone. That's where, like, the adaptogens, and again, it's hard for me publicly to share all these things because I want to, because it's true. But then we can never take that out of context and be like, Shakeology cures all autoimmune diseases, you know, because that's not responsible of us. But that's the belief, like, for us to just remember that it's like, I know there's a lot of fear in this business that we all have to work through. Fear of being salesy, fear of offending people, fear of losing friends, fear of whatever. But in my opinion, this has changed so many people's lives and literally saved so many people's lives that it would be so selfish of me to keep that to myself. And that's kind of, again, that conviction that I personally lead with in not only sharing Shakeology and sharing our challenge packs and challenge groups and what we have to offer, but in coaching as well. You know, all of our businesses and our impact would expand extremely if we found more people who would link arms with us and help our like coaching organizations grow. Because again, like, I could help 100 people and exhaust myself, or I could train 10 people to help 10 people to help 10 people to help 10 people. And the more people that find out about this, the more lives that we can really change together. And that's really what I lead with, because the testimonies are so incredible. And I'm sure that you guys have met people that have those kind of stories too. Anything else? Oh,
Anybody else have any big things to ask her? Because this is so awesome that we have Jessica here. I know that there's quite a few of us that work at hospitals, and we also chatted about how sometimes the medical profession are the most difficult to be healthy, which makes no sense.
Exactly.
But what would be your advice to those of us that do work at a hospital or with people, to encourage them to evaluate the efficacy of Shakeology and to give it a try? And because I think sometimes nurses can be the most not willing to, you know, they're I don't know how to explain it exactly, but I think you guys get it, that deal with people in the medical field. So what would be your advice to talking to someone who is a medical professional?
Yeah, I'll answer this, and then Patricia, I just saw your question on collagen, and I'll get to that. So medical professionals and fitness professionals are difficult. If you guys haven't experienced that already, and it's because our ego gets in the way. Honestly, I thought that I was better than Beachbody. Before I knew what Beachbody was, I thought I was better than Beachbody. Like, there's no way that this MLM company will meet my standards, because I always prided myself on having very high standards, because again, I studied Chinese medicine and herbology and all these different nutritional theories and homeopathy and all this stuff, right? And I was blown away when I knew what it was. So we usually will never, ever get people to listen to us if we come at them with information. A lot of times we get people to listen when we ask questions. So if you're ever in a situation with a professional of any kind, get to know them. Like, there's majority of medical professionals are unhealthy. They're stressed out. They have no energy. They're living on energy drinks and coffee. If you look in the break room, it's full of junk food. So if you listen, you'll hear people talk about their struggles with losing weight, or their struggles with X, Y, and Z, their blood pressure, their struggles with balance, their struggles with all these things. And if you can find a way to insert yourself into a conversation and learn to ask questions, and then you just insert your story. Like, oh man, I really used to struggle with energy. Ever since I've been drinking this, this wellness formula that I found, it's helped me so much. Have you ever heard of Shakeology? And then you'll have one or two things, like either, no, I haven't, but I'm intrigued, or, oh yeah, I heard, isn't that protein shake thing? That's an awesome opportunity for you to say, actually, I thought it was 2, but come to find out, that's only 1/5 of what it is. I was just on this webinar where I learned, and then you just like come at their same level. But if you ever come from up here and treat them like they're down here, like you know better than them, you will never get anywhere. But so, like, questions, in my opinion, are always a better way to go about it. Okay, and then
just to add on that too, it's awesome. Like we and many of us know, we have cardiologist who's one of our clients and really engaged in our team, which is in our accountability groups, Dr. Kimberly Delaney. It's pretty awesome. She's a cardiologist. And we also, Dr. Maureen Jordan is my OBGYN. And so I'd love to be able to share that some of the doctors that I have are that use our products. And that says a lot too, that they believe in the standards that we have to offer too.
Absolutely. I love it. Collagen. So I was a little bit bummed when they announced the collagen marketing and that it's for skin and nails, because we're a fitness company, and I was hoping that it was going to be the type of collagen that is specific to joints and gut health, but it's a different type of collagen. So this is a patented version of collagen that is proven to stimulate our own bodies to produce more collagen. That has to do with like which is nothing wrong with I want less wrinkles because I have 2 children that I haven't slept in 3.5 years. But that is the type of collagen that we have. As far as it helping arthritis, I can't speak to that, and that's not kind of the marketing avenue that Beachbody's taken. I've talked to my personal corporate mentor and my corporate contacts, and like, dude, and in the roundtable page, like, there was a lot of like, man, I'm kind of bummed that we didn't go the other route, which hopefully in the future that they'll be like, oh, this is a smart idea to have this other type of collagen. But as of right now, that's where it is. And if you look in the Coach Online office, Nancy, there was an announcement of collagen being available in Canada, but I don't know the date. But I just saw that this morning. That was the other collagen. Different than collagen. Yeah, so the Beachbody collagen is different than like the Vital Proteins collagen peptides. Unfortunately. Cool. Anything else? Main ingredients that help with inflammation. So inflammation is it's a multifaceted thing. Antioxidants are known for being really helpful with inflammation, but it's kind of like if you're getting a lot of nutrient density, it's going to help with inflammation. Super greens also help with inflammation. Having a healthier gut helps with inflammation. It just depends on the source. If you have someone, I will say this, if you have someone that is really struggling with like arthritis or chronic pain from inflammation, I have had so many incredible testimonies from the Ultimate Reset, because gluten and sugar and dairy and all the crap a lot of times is always going to aggravate inflammation in the body, and the Ultimate Reset eliminates all of that, and you're getting nutrient density. And then the Soothe formula has turmeric, which is really powerful for inflammation as well, and you have digestive enzymes and probiotics. It's just a really, really powerful formula. I had a 38-year-old man who was in corrections do it with his wife, who was one of my friends. She was a public health nurse supervisor, both super stressed, busy people, and they both did it together. He lost 17 pounds in 21 days, which is crazy. But he was on narcotics he was diagnosed with arthritis at a very young age. And for the first time, I want to say in over a decade, he was off his narcotic. He was only, I don't think he took like a regular ibuprofen, and his fingers weren't as swollen. And I've heard that from multiple people. So I don't think that we talk about it as much in our Beachbody community, the Ultimate Reset. Like, I hope that can come back, but it's a really powerful program.
This is awesome, Jessica. Thank you so much. I totally geek out on all this stuff like you do too. And, dealt with my own digestive issues, adrenal fatigue. And so it's just great to have, I think, the research that you've done behind it, and having put it in such a concise way that it makes sense. It's simple. It's like, 5 blends. These are what they do. And, if you go out and buy these, look how much you would spend. But you're not, and you don't have to put it all together, which is awesome. It's just in one thing. So if you had to say, here's one thing you could do for your health and nothing else, start by adding this in. Super simple. Thank you. This is awesome.
You're welcome. So welcome. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, well, I just want to, does anybody have any final questions before we let her go? Anyone? But I just want to thank Jessica for her time and her ability to put this presentation together. This is all recorded, so we'll go ahead and be able to post that in both Inspire Health and in the Fit Republic, and be able to share that with everybody on our team. So coaches, please go back and message your specific coaches or even clients to watch, to understand better about Shakeology. I think that sometimes, like she mentioned, we just don't do a great job of explaining it, and we obviously use it because we notice the difference in our lives. I know for me, the biggest piece has been the energy piece that I've noticed with 3 little kids, well, not that little anymore, but 3 kids and the craziness of numerous part-time jobs and running around. So I think this kind of put everything together. And if you're able to, Jessica, maybe if you have the PowerPoint that we could also attach, so that if people want to use a slide, I know I was trying to write notes, but some of the information on the different herbs and blends, I think that would be helpful, if that's okay with you, to share that. And yeah, I hope that you're one of the main speakers next year at Summit, because I'd love to hear more about the research paper that you've done and all the time and energy. We all appreciate you doing that, because I know you and Heather like to look up all that kind of stuff, but there's some of us that aren't as good at that. So we appreciate those of you that are able to put that together. And I hope that our team will start to share more with other people on social media and stuff about specific ingredients and how they make a difference. I think that would be very, very powerful for us and for them. So keep drinking, everybody, because it's doing your body good for sure. So thanks again, and we appreciate your time, and thank you to all of you guys who got off work or were there. Even Anthony, I see you hiding there. Thank you for joining us. So we look forward to our next talk. So thank you so much, Jessica. We appreciate it. Everybody give her a double thumbs up, as I tell my kids. All righty. Oh, that's a good picture. I don't know how to do it. Heather. Double thumbs up, everybody. All righty. Heather's going to turn off the recording, and thank you guys all for being with us today. Have a healthy, happy, and fit day today. Bye.